Hello friends, welcome to our daily MCQ day 1 where we'll be seeing material science questions. During the heat treatment of steel, the hardness of various structures in increasing order is, so here we have four options: martensite, fine perlite, coarse perlite and spherodite. We all know that martensite is the hardest phase, and as the particle size decreases, the hardness increases. So spherodite has smaller area boundary, so it will be less hard than coarse perlite is having lesser than fine perlite is last. So I think D option will be most suitable here. Next, the hardness of steel greatly improves with annealing, sanding, normalizing and tempering. And here only one process, sanding, adds to the hardness, where additional techniques are employed which relieves internal tension, increases ductility and reduces hardness. So sanding is the right. Next is the effective number of lattice points in the unit cell of simple cubic, body-centered cubic, face-centered cubic space lattices respectively are. So first we have to know what are these cubes. So we'll have the simple cubic where we have only the corner atoms, and the corner atoms contribute only 1/8 because this single atom will be shared by 8 other atoms. So only 1/8 of the part is in this unit cell. So the simple cubic will have only one. Next is the body centered cubic will have 8 particles, so that will make a 1. And the next one is the body centered cube, as the interior one contributes to the completely to the unit cell. So we have 2 atoms in the body centered cubic. Next is the face centered cubic, and each atom in this face will be shared by this one and the adjacent upper one. So each face is shared by 2. So one half of the face atom is contributing to the unit cell. So here 8 corners that will contribute 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 faces, so that will be contributing to 3. So 3 plus 1, 4. So the right answer should be 1 for this, 2 for this and 4 for this. Next is the material property that depends only on the basic crystal structure is fatigue strength, work hardening, fracture strength and elastic constant. So here the fatigue strength mainly depends on the surface area and size. Work hardening depends on the forces that we applied on the body. Fracture strength is also the similar part, but leads up to the fracture, and the elastic constant is basically determined by the crystal structure. So the right answer will be D, elastic constant. Next is during the normalizing process of steel, the specimen is heated between the upper and lower critical temperature and cooled in still air above the critical temperature and cooled in furnace above the upper critical temperature and cooled in still air between the upper and lower critical temperature and cooled in furnace. So first remember that normalizing happens in still air. So we have one option and two options. We are not using furnace for normalizing. So we have two options, and the normalizing happens at the above the optimizing temperature. So we have C as the right answer. Next is for ductile material, toughness is the measure of resistance to scratching, ability to absorb energy up to fracture, ability to absorb energy till elastic limit, and resistance to indentation. So, as we all know, in the stress strain curve, the resistance to scratching is actually abrasion positive. Then next is the ability to absorb energy to fracture. This part will be the toughness, ability to absorb till elastic limit. This is, I think, called as resilience, and resistance to indentation is actually hardness. So only option we have is B. If a particular iron carbon alloy contains less than 0.83% carbon, it is high speed steel, hypoeutectoid steel, hypereutectoid steel, and cast iron. So as the name itself suggests, hypo means less and hyper means high. So we'll have less than 0.83 means it should be hypotectoid. Yes, the main purpose of spheroidizing treatment is to improve hardenability of low carbon steels, machinability of low carbon steels, hardenability of high carbon steels, and machinability of high carbon steels. The first basic that we should know this, as we increase the carbon content of the substance, the hardenability of the substance also increases, and as the hardness increases, the substance becomes easy to machine. So machinability decreases. So here the low carbon steel, we have to improve the hardenability. This is a true condition. Machinability of the low carbon steel is already good, so we don't require this. Prove the hardenability of high carbon steels, we also don't require this, and machinability of the high carbon steels. Then in the earlier question we have seen the spheroidizing was least hard, so it is not used for hardening. So only correct option is machinability, and it is used in manufacture ball bearings and ball courses. Next is the percentage of carbon in the grey cast iron is in the range of 0.25 to 0.75, 1.25 to 1.75, 3 to 4%, 8 to 10%. For this, we need to see the iron carbon diagram. We can also see the hypereutectoid and hypoeutectoid. 0.83 was the percentage. So below that will be hypoeutectoid, above that will be hypereutectoid. Then for this question, we have to see the cast iron percentage. So cast iron varies from 2 to 6.5%. So first two options are already gone because these are for the steels. So we are not going for the cast. And the 8 to 10% is actually not used. So we only have one 3 to 4%. Now the last question is the crystal structure of austenite is body centered cubic, face centered cubic, hexagonal closed pack, and body centered tetragonal. So here we are actually in the austenite we are going from alpha to gamma, and gamma is FCC. So that will be, we can also refer to the iron carbon diagram for this. So the gamma will be FCC structure. Okay, this was all for day one. Thank you for listening. You have been an amazing audience. See you soon in the next video.